Welcome, welcome. Hi, my name is Teeha Hamilton. My pen name is TMH Writer, and we have Donna Williams here. She is my beta writer, and she is actually someone who I speak to about this Love is Real series. So, without further ado, Donna, would you like to have any words, or would you like to start asking me questions?
Well, I am so incredibly grateful to have met this wonderful writer, even though she's new on the scene. And I'm so happy that I stumbled across her work. It has been such a joy, not only to read her works, but to get to know the person behind the books. So I'm just glad to be here. And I'm grateful for Teeha or TMH Writer to invite me to participate in this particular recording.
Thank you. Thank you. So in this recording, we're going to talk about This Love is Real. Of course, my favorite character, Terry and Sonia. And I also have an upcoming book called Her Pathway to Forgiveness about Terry's birth parents, CJ and Ann. And in this book, we'll get to see the full life of Terry. Between the first book and all the other books, you get to see snippets of her life. But in this book, you get to actually see what happened to Terry throughout her life to make her the woman who I love her to be.
She does love Terry. Me, not so much.
Why?
I am a Sonia fan. I totally love Sonia. Terry, I just want to strangle her. In every book that I've read, I just want to strangle her. And she just keeps getting a pass for how she treats Sonia. So do I like her? Yes. Can I relate to her struggles? Yes. But at the end of the day, goodness gracious, can you give Sonia a break and just be good to her?
She is good to Sonia. She does little. She loves Sonia in her own little way.
No.
Yes, she does.
See, this is what I'm talking about, folks.
To her, she brings her on stage. She takes her on cruises. She takes her on dinner dances. She takes her
ignore her on her wedding trip, on her honeymoon. She goes and sits at another table with some dude. She spends all evening dancing with this dude.
Right.
She goes sightseeing with this dude to a private island.
They were friends. Terry and Ted were friends.
No, baby, this is honeymoon. You don't get to spend your honeymoon with some dude.
It wasn't necessarily their honeymoon. They were already going on that trip. So they didn't really have a honeymoon. They just made that their honeymoon. But they were always going to meet up with Ted and Sean.
Meet up, yes. Going to a private island with some guy that's not your wife. No, ma'am. And then you get mad when Sonia don't like it. And tries to check you about it, and you get mad and you're the victim. Nah, not in this life.
Well, Sonia has a problem with not speaking to Terry about how she feels. So that's part Sonia's, that's her fault for not stopping them.
Really, Teeha?
Yes. No. If she seen them dancing, she should have just stopped them.
Really? Really?
Yes.
You know we don't do that.
Yes.
Because if she were to go up there, tap him on the shoulder and said, back off, then she would come off as some jealous wife.
No. Then she would have came off with having a backbone.
Okay. Oh, so since Sonia don't have a backbone, they give Terry the right to mistreat.
But not when it comes to Terry.
Okay. See, this is what I'm saying, people. Read these books. You have got to write TMH Writer and tell her who is your favorite character and why. And I guarantee you're gonna love Sonia just like I do. You're gonna despise Aaron,
Oh
and
my God,
Terry
I
is
love Aaron.
on the fence.
I love
Terry,
Aaron takes up for Sonia 9 times out of 10.
but she still slept with that girl knowing that Sonia was in love with
That
her.
was when they was young.
She
That was
still
when
did
they
it.
was young, huh?
Yeah, she still did it.
They were in their teens.
They were in college.
19.
Uh,
19.
okay.
But I
Aaron
love
wasn't
Aaron.
19.
Huh?
Aaron was older.
A year older.
Terry,
She
Terry
was
was,
20.
so she was 20. She wasn't in her teens.
God.
She should have known better. And then
Really?
she gonna play like she team Sonia after you and bumped and grind with her. Come on, man.
You got she's grown. She's grown over the
Mhm.
years. After Terry, well, in the book it shows that after Terry left her at the airport and was pretty much like bye, because Aaron wanted more than she could give, just like Sonia did, but she walked away from Aaron for 3 years. So Terry and Aaron didn't speak for a while until Joyce invited Aaron to the
Mhm.
New York shows. That's
But
the
she,
first time she's
but
seen
she
Aaron.
sure enjoyed the relationship with her in Colorado.
Oh yes, they did. You get to see that in the Origins 2 book. Yes,
Right.
they did. They was
So,
hot and heavy.
see, even you admit. But see,
Uh,
what you won't admit is that that was totally off base.
How
Oh,
so? Terry
mm-mm.
and Sonia weren't together.
But she knew how she felt about her, you know. Plus, she also knew how Mike felt about her, and she still did it. So it's like you're not
But
loyal
just
to any
because
of your friends.
somebody loves you doesn't mean you have to love them back. Do you?
See, see, Terry claimed she loved her. She just didn't know who she was. She didn't know she wanted to lose her best friend. Tears, tears, tears. Get
Terry is a flawed person.
yeah.
She's in that she went to therapy. You know, she went to therapy over the years, and you can say yourself in the second book at the end she finally came
Oh
around
my
to
God.
the way you.
But I had to read 3 books till she got there.
That's right.
Remember, we got the prequel,
Yes,
part 1, now
yes,
part 2. At the
yes.
end, she wants to be all Team Sonia.
Because she grew. You get to
Mm-mm,
see her growth.
this girl, you know, if it wasn't for the recording, you know what I'd be trying to call her. Anywho,
So tell me why you like Sonia.
I love Sonia. I'm more than like her. I love her. Why? I think she's driven to succeed,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she also has a level of compassion and empathy, and she lacks the arrogance that a lot of successful surgeons exhibit on a daily basis.
Mm.
I think that when I see her struggle with trying to fulfill her goal to become a top notch surgeon and be there for the woman she loves.
Mm-hmm.
I see her listening to the people who love Terry tell her, Terry would not be happy if you gave up everything for her. You
Mm-hmm.
need to stay and pursue it,
Right.
you know. And she did listen to those people, and she did become a successful, top notch, make her mark on the world surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
But she paid a heavy price with it
She
because
did.
she carried around a lot of guilt.
Yes.
Um, but I love her for that because that's true in a lot of our cases.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to pursue our dreams, oftentimes the people who say they love us, they don't necessarily give us the support that we need to be successful. And then the first time something happens, they want to throw it in our faces and say, well, you weren't there when such and such is happening. But they won't acknowledge that everything that you've done is so that you can be more available to the people you love, you know. So I like her for that. I like her for knowing from the very beginning that this is the woman I love. This is the woman I want to be with. And I'm willing to wait for her. And she waited 10 years. Could I have done that? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But she did because she was totally convinced that if I loved her long enough, she would love me back. So I love that perseverance. I love the love at first sight. I love the tragedy of waiting, of watching them do other things. And so yes, with all of her flaws, I love Sonia. She is just, she is the epitome of someone who loves you unconditionally.
True. True.
Hmm.
And you don't
Yeah.
think Terry loves Sonia?
I think she loves her, but she didn't love her unconditionally. And that's a difference.
You don't think so?
No, ma'am.
Why?
There's too many instances in the book where the books that where she had opportunities to demonstrate unconditional love and she didn't.
How so? Can you give an example?
Many of them. The one that hurt the most, was when she had the babies and she had gotten into a car accident and she couldn't hold the babies. And she took it out on Sonia because she couldn't hold the babies. And because she couldn't hold the babies, not only did she take it out on her, she left their home to go live with somebody else until she could hold the babies. I mean, what kind of stuff is that?
She was angry and in pain.
But she took it out on the woman who loves you unconditionally.
People do that though.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying when she had opportunities to love Sonia unconditionally, she did not.
She fell short.
That's just one incident.
Yeah.
We won't even talk about false Terry or faux Terry. We won't even talk about that, Hansa.
That is not her fault.
But we will talk about.
She lost her memory.
Okay. And when she got her memory back, how long did it take her to go see her wife?
She had to get herself together.
But she could see everybody but Sonia.
Right. But Terry felt like somebody hijacked her body.
That ain't got nothing to do with Sonia.
It didn't. It was about Terry. And she was selfish about getting her life together.
Exactly. Another opportunity of not showing unconditional love.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
It is something wrong with, I'm going to see all the people I want except my wife. Okay? I can see everybody.
She didn't want to say anybody. That was Joyce. That was Joyce.
Honey, she had to go see about her business. What was her business? Who was a part of that business? Joyce, Ann, Aaron, Mike, Grace, and all those other characters. Right. But when it came to Sonia, I don't want to see you.
Terry didn't see anybody. It was Kai who barged her way in to see Terry. Terry didn't want to see her, but she just didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Okay, but she didn't mind hurting Sonia's feelings. She didn't mind that.
She didn't. Well, I think she set out to hurt her feelings. She was just selfish because she was angry. She was in pain. She was upset.
TMH. Her words were, when they asked her, aren't you going to see your wife? No, she didn't come to see me when I was sick. So why should I go see her? I'm going to take care of my business. So again,
that's
below the belt.
Terry and her.
Faux Terry was always there.
She changed after she came out of that memory. She kind of changed because she was angry at her parents. She was just angry at the world. And she had to get herself together, because what if she went back to Sonia being that angry? She would have took it out on her. Would you rather her stay away and get herself together, or go to Sonia and be mean and nasty to her?
I would have preferred her to call her and say, listen, I love you, but I need some time to get myself together.
I don't want to. That mature.
Well, that's what I'm saying. By then, she's 30 years old, and she needed to be more mature than she was. But she took it out on her. And that's like, come on, Terry. You're supposed to be beautiful and successful and creative and talented. But the one person who has loved you unconditionally through everything, you push aside anytime something major or something traumatic happens in your life. That wasn't cool for me. Now, do I
Yeah,
like
but
Terry?
but
Yeah,
she imprinted on Joyce. What happened in Cancun,
yeah,
that's where she started to turn to Joyce. And she
right.
always turns to Joyce because
Yeah,
Joyce is her, Joyce is her savior. Joyce is her comfort.
I
Joyce
love
loves her
Joyce.
unconditionally, but she
Right.
does call her out,
Yeah, she checks her.
right?
She
She
puts her in check.
challenges her, she calls
Hmm.
her out, but
Yep.
Terry will always, go to Joyce because of what happened in Cancun and
Yeah,
how she treated her and
right.
nurtured her. Terry missed that nurturing when her parents died. And you'll see
Hmm.
that in the CJ and Ann book.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I know what it's like to grow up without parents. Um, but when you love someone, you give them what you never had.
Right,
Okay, you give them what you want. You treat them the way you want to be treated.
right,
Anything else is just selfish to me.
right.
And yes, I do give her a pass for the trauma in her life. But when it comes to Sonia, I just wish she would have been kinder.
Hmm.
Yeah, because this woman loves you. And I just didn't see her as being that kind to her in moments of trauma or distress.
Okay.
Yeah,
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 she had to learn how to do that. And
yep,
in the last book, you do see her struggling with it, talking about it, getting help about it, and she finally comes to terms with it and started letting Sonia in,
yeah,
talking about her pain. She grew.
right.
You see the growth
Yeah, you
in
do see her
Terry.
growth. Yes, I
You
agree.
see the growth in
Definitely.
her. And the
Yeah.
Terry at the end of the book is who I'm talking about. The one that I really love to
Okay.
write about,
Okay.
right? So
Right.
you get to see her growth. But
Yeah.
she's a flawed person.
Yeah, she is.
But she loves unconditionally. She just didn't know how to show her love, or
Hmm.
her love language is different from Sonia's.
Yeah. Yeah. But but when you love someone, if they don't feel it, if they don't know it, if they can't touch it, if they can't embrace it, then it's not love to them. It's anything but love.
Do you think Sonia ever thought Terry didn't love her?
I think that Sonia loved her enough for both of them.
Mm.
And she covered her flaws with her own love.
Mm-hmm.
She loved her so unconditionally that she basically said, I love this woman. I know there's things happening, but I can love her enough for us both for a while.
Mm.
Um, and that's why I love Sonia so much, because she believed in Terry throughout everything. She never wavered in her belief.
Mm-hmm.
Even when others like Sean, was not necessarily kind, or said kind things about
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
She stood up to Sean and she loved Sean. That's her best
Yes.
friend. But
Yes.
she was like, you don't get to talk about her,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
And
But you get
so,
to see that in the Stranger in the Mirror series. You don't see
yeah,
too much Sonia standing up to Sean in the books, but you
yeah,
do see it
yeah,
during the faux Terry.
yeah, those, yeah. We won't even
Yeah.
talk about those novellas because you know how I feel about those little 2 pages.
Let's talk about the Kim
Girl,
Novella story, Stranger in the Mirror.
them
Terry
things
lost her
drive me
memory.
nuts. There's 15 of them. I have to get 7. I get them all when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
But I let them pile up for 3 or 4
There's
episodes.
16. There's 16 sessions.
Yep,
There's 16 episodes right now. And
yep, and
I love writing that series because you get a
yeah,
bird's eye view into Terry and Sonia and
right.
Aaron. And you get to see, I'm going to show from Sonia's perspective what her and Terry shared before the
Okay,
memory loss. So you can start to see how Terry did show Sonia love just in her own way. She showed her love. Terry's love language is cooking for you and singing for
acts of service. Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
And she does that a lot for Sonia. She always did. She always did. But Terry struggled with loving someone after her parents died. And you get to see that in the CJ and Ann books. That's why I'm so excited about this book, because you get to see what happened between, you know, Terry, between James, well, you don't necessarily get to see what happened with James, but see why she turned to James.
Right.
We get to see, you know, Freddie and CJ meeting, them meeting Ted. You know, you get to see what happened in North Carolina, because North Carolina was really the pivoting point for Joyce and CJ Freddie.
Got it.
Because that's when she met CJ, and that's when she found out Ann was her birth mom.
Oh, okay.
So by the time the prequel came, she only knew CJ for maybe a couple of months.
Really?
Yes. That's why she always went to Freddie, because her and CJ were just building their relationship.
Okay. Well, Terry didn't have any problems with CJ, did she?
No, she thought she, you know, for some reason she loved CJ.
Yeah.
She's daddy's little girl.
Whatever. All I know is she was cruel during that period.
Cruel?
She was cruel to Sonia. You know, the things she did, the things she said, you know, calling the police on her. You know.
That might not show up in the Kindle Villa. That was just an alternative universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to strangle her.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now.
That was a what if
snapshot
of what Terry would do.
And then you turn around and you become a legal parent to the kids that your wife had with another dude. I mean, come on. This woman is incredibly kind and loving toward Terry, because I don't know if I could do that, because looking at them kids would be a daily reminder.
They look like Terry, though. They don't look like Zion. They look exact replica of Terry.
Yeah, however.
It wasn't her fault. It was not her fault.
Okay. I don't know.
How do you think Terry feels after waking up and finding out she's pregnant by a guy she didn't
probably enjoyed it, because she was always tinkering on the brink of, you know, being with a man anyway. The way she flirted with Ted on the ship and everything else, and talking about how hot she was getting and she had to get up and walk away.
She is bisexual.
So, right. So she probably felt like, yay.
No, she was traumatized.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. You lose your memory, and then you regain your memory and found out, you know, you're pregnant by a dude you don't know. How would you feel?
I would feel pretty devastated by that.
Exactly.
But I would also feel like I need to give my wife time to come to terms with it. Instead of saying, well, you know what? If you don't want this, bye. And then you just turn your back on her. She did that.
For a day.
And then who had to talk her into going back to her wife?
Who?
Who had to talk Terry into going back to her wife?
Who?
Who? Tell me who.
Nobody had to talk her.
Oh, yes, they did.
Well, Joyce and Aaron both talked some sense into her, because she had it.
Exactly. You know, but in the meantime, you all mad because she was struggling with that. You know, where was the compassion? Where was the empathy? Where was the fact that if the shoe was on the other foot, you would have cut off and run so quick?
Well, Terry's not mentally healthy. She's a flawed person.
Yes, ma'am.
And she did seek help for, her trauma,
She
for
did.
what continues to happen to her. I mean,
Uh,
how would you feel if you
I
had
would,
all that trauma happen to you?
I would,
Some
I would
people
feel
can't even
pretty.
survive one trauma,
That's
let
true.
alone 3 or 4,
That's
right?
true. That's true. I just wish she had been a little kinder to the one person
She
who
had
loved her
she had to
unconditionally.
learn. She had to learn how to love
Yeah.
Sonia. She had
Yeah.
to learn, and she did. She did.
Mm-hmm.
By the
Yeah.
time,
3 books in.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm. 3 books in, giving me a heart attack along the way. Mm-hmm. Wishing I could just take a bat and bust her upside the head so that she would get some more sense. Yeah.
Well, if she was all lovely dovely, I wouldn't have nothing to write about.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and that was part of the the drama and trauma of the books,
Yeah.
which I totally love. I love her metamorphosis.
Mm-hmm.
She did change and become this person I knew she could be. um I'm curious to see where we go from here, though.
Oh, the Dark Cloud series.
Just don't kill them off, Teeha. TMH writer, please do not kill them off. As long as you don't do that, I'm good, because we gotta have a happy ending somewhere in this piece.
Well, Dark Cloud is not a romance series.
Right. As long as we don't kill them off, I'm good.
Okay.
They can have a little drama and a little trauma, but just don't kill them off.
Yeah.
And my God, don't let something happen to Terry, because the girlfriend had already been raped and beat up and in a car accident and broken legs, broken arms. Lord have mercy. She can't take no more. Okay?
We'll see.
I want to see some more babies, but I want to see Sonia have those babies.
Sonia's not going to have a baby.
See,
Terry
just
Terry
bust
had
my little
Zoe.
bubble.
Huh?
Just bust my little bubble. Did they pick out Zoe from a sperm bank?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They did.
And how did they do? Did they pick qualities that look like Sonia, or did they stick with the Terry image?
A little of both.
Okay.
But they went with Terry so they would all have the same biological mother.
Okay, so she carried the baby.
She did.
Okay. Yeah, I would have loved to see Sonia carry the baby. But this works too.
Mm-hmm.
At least she got some input in it this time.
Oh, absolutely.
So did they know the donor, or did they have an open adoption so that they'll see the dad sometime down the line?
We'll see.
See. Spill the tea, Teeha. Come on now.
Between the Kindovella episode, because I'm gonna have Terry and Sonia. I'm gonna create a Kindovella series for them, battling medical mysteries. So we'll get a little bird's eye view into how they are now, since they're a little older and their kids are growing up. What they
Wonderful.
do. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'd love to see that series.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After Stranger in the Mirror finishes, I'll probably start that one.
Okay. And so what are the timeline? What are we looking at?
I say next year.
Oh, okay.
I still got a lot to tell.
Okay.
For the Stranger in the Mirror series. I love it.
Folks, do not let this pretty face fool you. This woman right here is a little devious. Okay. She doesn't look like it, but she is. And so just hold on to your seats. We may be in for some surprises.
You gotta keep the drama.
I see.
You gotta keep it, exciting.
Right. Yep. So we are in for some drama and some trauma. And for me, some throwing my phone against the wall because I'm frustrated. Them 2 little pages go by so quick. It's like, my God, come on, man. We need to release at least every other day so I can see where this is going.
Oh, I don't have time for that.
All right, I want to shift gears and ask the question.
Go ahead.
Are we going to see anything on Sean? I like him. I liked him for Sonia. I like him for whoever. He seems to be such a nice guy.
We do see Sean in the Kindle Villa series. He shows up quite a lot.
I mean, but does he get involved with someone? Is there a love interest?
With Nyasha. We might see a book with him and Nyasha coming down the pipe.
And that seems to be such an odd mix with her being an athlete and all of that, and he a neurosurgeon. That doesn't even seem like they would be compatible except physically.
But think about it. She's an athlete, she's a boxer, and he's a neurosurgeon. They have
Parkinson's, brain concussion syndromes.
Yeah, they have something to talk about, or he has something to warn her about.
Got it. I got it. Yeah, and he loves beautiful women, and it's alluded to that she is a beautiful woman. When I think her, I think Layla Ali. Okay, beautiful and smart, and got out of the business before her brains got,
We'll see. Her and Terry are business partners for the bistro.
Yeah,
they have a healthy menu.
Right. Because Terry put her on a nutrition plan to help her with her fighting.
With her,
when she went into boxing. Yes, that's right. Do they maintain that connection over time, or does
they do? Remember, she visited Nyasha in the second book, and what happened?
Right. But after that, we don't see her. So I was wondering if they continue to maintain it once Terry moved.
We'll see her in the Kindle Villa, and then we may see them in their own Friends book.
Okay, right, because I didn't see her come out to the West Coast at all. She was pretty much part of that New York connection.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she is. I like the New York connection. There were a few people did we see anything about them later on?
Fallon, we get to see Fallon in the Dark Cloud series.
I'm not gonna even ask.
We saw Fallon in Kai's book too.
Yes.
He set up the stages.
Yeah. Right. Now with Kai's book, it ended so suddenly. I just wanted more of it. I wanted to see the wedding. I wanted to see them brush each other's tears off the cheeks. I wanted to see somebody have a baby. Are we gonna see any of that moving forward?
We will probably see that in the Kindle Villa with Sonia and Terry.
Okay.
Yeah, because Ayanna works with Sonia. Well, she's gonna work with Sonia and Terry when they're doing their medical mysteries.
But she had to go away for what, 3 years? Was it 3 years? Just one? Just the fellowship in London or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she does come back to the States.
Yes,
so they both
absolutely.
come back to the States. Okay. And settle in the San Diego area.
Yes. Well, Kai gonna stay close to Terry.
Yeah. And then Ayanna works with Sean as a neuro fellow, right? See what I'm saying?
She might change her specialty. Because she wants to work with Sonia and Terry. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not so sure that I want to include Sean in it. No.
See, why are you discriminating against the brother?
I just don't like him.
All he did was love Sonia and see her through the hardest times of her life.
True.
Okay. Offered a place to live. The brother didn't even try to brush up on her. I mean, he didn't push up on her. He was a true friend.
Mm-hmm.
They biked together. They did all these things, and here we come. Here come Terry. I ain't just trying to ride a bicycle. I'm gonna upgrade you to something electric, But I don't see nowhere in any of the books, any of the series, where they got on them electric books and went bikes and went anywhere.
They did. Remember when they went to meet that?
One time, Sonia and Sean rode every Sunday. Terry said, That's the only time I thought I saw a little bit of possessiveness in her. Was when she was like, I'm gonna get us some electric bikes and you and I are gonna ride. They rode one night.
It wasn't just one time, it just shows one time in the book. But they like to sail. When they do stuff, they like to go out on the water and sail together. So that's their thing.
Then why you gonna interrupt what she doing with this dude?
She doesn't.
To go get some electric bikes that you don't ride but one time.
She doesn't.
She could have kept riding with him every
bikes.
Sunday. She could have kept riding with him every Sunday.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's her buddy. For real, for real. Okay, now speaking of Sean, who is this Brenda character that's in the Kindle Villa? Where'd she come from?
That's Dr. Saver's goddaughter.
Right. But where'd she come from?
Huh? North Carolina.
Oh, see, I need a whole series on the North Carolina, because every time I ask a question, that's in North Carolina. But damn it, I need some North Carolina info. Okay.
You'll start to see it. I might have to do a book with Dr. Savers and Sean and Ted's father, because they're dating. Yeah. And he moved to San Diego to be near her.
Ooh, I would love that. Yeah. I like Dr. Savers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. Cool. Good. I would love to.
But she had to check her goddaughter.
Yeah, I saw her check her, but you know what? I'm just trying to figure out where she come from and how she got there.
Huh?
I'm trying to figure out where she comes from.
Her and Sean are friends.
Okay.
They grew up together and they went to the same schools.
So what? Sean called her out the blue and said, listen, there's this beautiful.
No, Brenda always wanted to work with her godmother.
Okay.
So she brought her on to the pilot. But you notice you don't see Brenda in the book too.
I know.
Right?
I sure don't. Right.
Right? So something must have happened.
There was this other dude. That was another dude that was taking her place. Well, helping her in the pilot.
Bradley.
Right. So she was initially part of the pilot and they got written out because she was inappropriate towards Sonia.
We'll see.
I'm tired of we'll see. Spill the tea, woman. Spill the tea.
We'll see what happens. Because Sonia, I won't say she doesn't like her, but she's not in the mood for her. You know what I mean? She still misses her wife. So.
Okay.
Bad timing.
And she didn't lose her mind and said, hey, if you can't be with the one you love the one you with.
Possibly.
Nah, not my Sonia.
See?
Not my Sonia.
Sonia has layers. And
my Sonia wouldn't do that.
We get to see that in the Kindle Villa.
My Sonia would not do that.
Yes, she would.
Your Terry would, but my Sonia would not.
Oh my God. Yes, she would. You'll get to see more of your Sonia in the second origin book, where you get to see the dynamics between Sonia and Bradley and Aaron and Grace. You get to see.
I want to see her family.
Whose family?
Sonia's family, and why her mother is so homophobic.
You get to see that in their book, in Sonia's parents' book, which is after CJ and Ann's book.
Ooh, I can't wait.
So that book will probably come out around December, I say.
Okay, I can't wait.
You get to see why, why her mom is the way she is.
And that's tough because when you think about a world-renowned physician and understanding that your sexuality is unchanged and changeable, to take such a hard stand with her daughter,
Mm,
you know, was kind of perplexing. And so
mhm.
I knew that there was a backstory somewhere.
Yes.
So it'll be good for me to see that backstory, and also how her father became Sonia's advocate through all of that, you know. So
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah,
Sonia's daddy's little girl, so.
yeah, yeah, I get that. But you know, the whole legacy piece, you know, are we
Mhm,
going to have children to carry on the legacy? We
mhm,
are not only world renowned, but we own these hospitals. We
mhm,
have created a legacy. How are we
mhm.
going to pass on this legacy if you don't have children?
Right,
Okay, as an only
right,
child,
right,
you know, and so
right.
I can see the disappointment from that angle, but I can't see, you know, the homophobia that her mother demonstrates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was a little tough for me to take when I read that.
All
I mean,
right.
she came around
Mm-hmm.
when Terry
She
had the baby.
definitely. Well, she came around after she saw them in San Diego and after Sonia wasn't home for about 3 years.
Yes, right.
So she felt that ache and she
Yeah,
knew she had to change or she
yeah.
would lose her child.
I
Right,
love that. I love that because that's real in so many communities
right.
where parents turn their backs on their children because of their sexuality. But, you know, to see some come around, because there's so many that don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids or the young people have to live the rest of their lives without the love and support of their biological parents.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So that was good to read. I definitely enjoyed that part of it. You
Good.
know, the wealth threw me as well. I was like, goodness gracious, somebody buying me yachts and
They
oh,
went together.
airplanes.
All of the parents. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Joyce and Freddie are well off.
Hmm.
CJ well, CJ's well off and didn't do too bad. But
She's a successful attorney,
yeah, she retired, but she's successful. But and
right?
then Sonia's parents are well off. So they
Very
all pulled together and bought that.
right. I love that because, you know, as people of color, we don't necessarily read stories about our power and influence.
Right.
You know, most of what I read when I read people of color is, you know, pulling ourselves up by the bootstrap,
Right.
you know, the ghetto fabulous stories, the drug
Right.
dealers, the
And we
pimps,
all don't live
prostitutes.
that way.
We all don't
We
live that
have
way. That's true.
we have success and wealth and
Absolutely.
education and
Yes.
a
And I love
plethora.
seeing that.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That was very heartening for me as
Good.
a woman of color, as a mother, as a grandmother, you
Mm-hmm.
know, to leave, especially when trying to leave a legacy for my kids and my grandchildren, to
Mm-hmm.
see that, you know, that is happening and someone has recognized it and read and wrote about it.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous.
Good.
I think that's why I love you so much in your writing, because you do talk about mental health
Mm-hmm.
and homophobia
Mm-hmm.
and wealth and success
Mm-hmm.
and fame
Yeah.
and fortune and all the
Yeah.
ways that they can be snares,
Right.
as well as all the joys and that you can have in those positions.
Right.
What they do, some of them come with certain traps or certain pitfalls, you know, like
Absolutely.
stalkers and you know those types
Absolutely.
of things. So
Absolutely.
hmm, I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm so incredibly grateful that I stumbled upon your books.
Thank you.
Um, and I've had the time of my life getting to know you, and discussing the characters, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like they're real to me. They just dance around in my head and it's like, okay, these people are real to me. It's getting a little scary. But I love it.
Nice. Any other questions?
Um, I'm hesitant to ask about Erin because I don't like Erin.
I love
But
Aaron.
I did like Erin when she finally hooked up with Ted. I was like,
Mm,
hallelujah. Now she can stay out of the way, finally.
Hmm.
So I like that. Are we going to see anything else on the Ted and Aaron story? I know they have the one little girl. Are they going
Mhm.
to have any more children?
They have a little boy and a little girl, remember, in the book? At
Mm,
the epilogue, they
I thought they had.
they have two.
Oh, I missed one because I'm
Yeah.
thinking the one that was graduating the kindergarten with that one.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
All
they
right.
had the little baby girl.
That's right. That's right. Yep. 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 Um, how are they? Are we going to see anything about her balancing motherhood and running a successful business?
We'll see it in Dark Clouds what happened.
Okay. I know that they turned over most of the business to Mike and Grace.
Right.
Um, but they still sat on the board. They, that type of thing. They still had some creative input.
They do still work with T&E, especially on large projects. But for the
Okay.
most part, Erin, she loves being a mom. I won't
Mm-hmm.
say stay home mom, but she does stay home most of the time. She does go in the office. Erin is
Mm-hmm.
more involved with T&E than Terry is. Terry and
Mm-hmm.
Sonia really, they really became a team, and they work out of Sonia's lab. So they really
Mm-hmm.
went into that more so.
Mm-hmm.
But Terry still is in the music industry because she helps Kai, and her dad is still a singer. So you might see her, sing here or there, but
Oh, I'd love to see
did
that.
she did hang up her, singing career.
Her touring career.
Yeah. Well, she
Okay.
never toured, not necessarily. She just went to certain
She went on certain
locations.
dates. Yeah.
She wasn't into all that touring.
Okay.
She
See,
kind of wanted to control where she was
like,
going.
well, see, I didn't know what happened with Faux Terry. Because Faux
Oh,
Terry was all in.
well, Terry was all over.
Right.
Terry didn't want to go on touring because Zion wanted her to go. So we'll get to see that in the Kendall Villa series.
But he was a model, so he was trying to kind of hang on her
He was a
coattails.
model and up and coming R&B artist.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he wanted to ride on Terry's coattails.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she finally recognized it, but took her a while because she was so smitten.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah. Oh, right? wait till you read my next Kindervilla episode when Faux Terry sees Andre. Because
Andre,
you got to read it. I'll be posting that on a Sunday.
You're going too far now. You're going too far.
This is Faux Terry.
No, see,
she got tired of all the women coming in and out of her room.
I was okay with Zion. Don't throw some other dude in the mix. Don't tell me she was out there laying and playing the whole time.
No. Okay. You'll get to see. But a new character is being introduced next week. Andre is her physical therapist.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. I can see Faux Terry is a mess.
She's a mess right now because she can't walk yet.
She's manipulative.
Well,
okay. She is arrogant.
Why? You know why?
She's nasty.
Yeah, she's angry.
She's narcissistic as hell.
Well, she's angry. She's upset because she can't, she doesn't remember who she is. And all she knows is they keep showing her these videos. And guess who's in all the videos?
Sonia.
Yep. That's why she starts to hate her, is because she feels like they're shoving her down her throat. So
she's the one that asked to see who all this is. If she didn't want to see it, she shouldn't have clicked enter or go or start.
She wants to find out about her life.
See, I ain't happy with that. Okay, tell me about my life. Just don't show me any more pictures of Sonia. I'm good with that. But don't be mad at Sonia because this woman was part of your life from the time you were in college until now. We're talking more than 10 years of friendship and love, and you don't want to see it. You don't want to acknowledge it.
She started to after watching the videos and after Joyce's visit, she started to understand how deep her connection was to Sonia, and so that made her really upset.
Yeah,
because she didn't know that at first, and once she started watching the videos, she started to see,
so instead
Joyce.
of warming up and being okay and feeling warm and fuzzy,
Right.
she takes the opposite approach.
She does.
And becomes bitch. Okay.
She does.
Let's just keep it real.
She does.
And this love is real.
And Terry doesn't
Terry
seem like she ever. She does warm up to Anne though. That's why CJ and Anne loved Terry, because they never got to raise Terry. And so Anne was always jealous of Joyce and Terry's relationship. Well, with Terry, she gets to build that relationship with her.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see that.
Okay. All right.
So that's why Terry was so pissed. When she gained her memory, they were still mourning over Terry and not looking out for her. That's what she felt anyway.
Of course.
So
Terry always takes
pissed.
She always goes there. She never stops to think about how the other person feels. It's all about me, how I feel, me.
But she had to be that way because what happened when she was younger and nobody looked out for her. So if nobody looks out for you, you have to be self-sufficient and self-reliant.
But not selfish.
Why not? You have to be selfish in order to survive. That's how Terry's character is anyway.
That's how Terry's character is. But a lot of people who've gone through a lot of bumps and bruises are very empathetic, very compassionate.
Not everybody, though.
Right, not everybody.
You have to be
mentally one of them.
Healthy.
Not everybody's.
Not everybody is mentally healthy and mature, right?
Right. That's right. Right.
So we get to see the growth.
Yeah, we do. Definitely over time. We do see the growth. But it is hard though when she it's hard.
Terry's better than Terry.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I give you that because at least she loves Joyce, the real Terry.
Well, Terry loves everybody, but
that other Terry.
Oh my God. She can't stand Joyce. And the reason why she doesn't like Joyce is because she feels what she feels when she's around Joyce. She doesn't want to have that feeling. She doesn't feel that way around Anne yet. But she can feel, how Joyce is very empathetic and Joyce is so loving. And so when Joyce saw her, she saw Terry at first. But then Joyce started to realize or just started to notice the difference in them two. Because Joyce checked Terry. That's why she didn't like her either.
I get it. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Fantastic. Wow. Yep. So no, I'm good. I am looking forward to the rest of the series, the Kindle Villa. I can't wait till the Dark Cloud series comes out. But most importantly, I can't wait till the medical dramas come out. I got a feeling those are going to be my favorite because I'm going to see them in love and supporting each other and, living this wonderful life together while they do what they do. So, and I'm a sucker for a happy ending anyway. So I can't wait.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So do you have any other questions for me?
No, I think I've exhausted everything. Can't wait till the next time we get together to discuss it. We'll have a few more Kindle Villas under our belt, maybe a book or two. and then we can pick up where we left off.
Definitely. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Pleasure's mine. Always.
And we look forward to talking about her pathway towards forgiveness in a couple of weeks.
Yes, ma'am. Can't wait.
Thank you.
All right, sweetie. Have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.